Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 2. Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam. Repeat. Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam. Okay, so can someone please read the translation?
Scroll little bit, Prabhuji, ups.
Scroll.
Translation. This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting and it is joyfully performed. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. So now the we are in the 9th chapter. So it's the most confidential knowledge. Lord says the most confidential. So now the entire Bhagavad Gita itself, the 700 slokas, all the slokas are very important. And if we see in chapter wise, all the chapters, all the slokas are very important. But if we see the flow, the initial first chapter is just setting the scene. Second, third chapters are very this thing, very it begins with the knowledge, and that is very confidential knowledge. Very it's not everybody knows that or everybody shares that knowledge. So it's very confidential knowledge, and then slowly progress further. The same whatever is explained in the second chapter, third, that is further. Arjuna asks, okay, this way, that way. He keeps asking, and then Lord keeps explaining the same in the different stressing different points. So different processes. Yes, about karma yoga, dhyana yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga. It speaks. Then 7th and 8th speaks about bhakti yoga, and 9th chapter speaks of the pure devotional service, unalloyed devotional service. It speaks of. So in the first sloka itself, it gives the criteria for those who want, who will understand this knowledge, or those who are eligible to accept this knowledge. So that is Lord says, Arjuna, because you are never envious of me and you're a devotee of me, I am sharing this knowledge with you, the most confidential knowledge. So in the 10th chapter also again will be there. So what I have given the confidential knowledge, now I'll speak the most confidential. He gives a he tells about himself and how to attain him. So this 9th, 10th chapters very important. As you see, the 7th to 12th chapters, particularly the the Bhakti Yoga section is very important. It speaks about pure devotional service. And 9th chapter is the crust. The 9th chapter, he clearly says, clearly gives the instruction, become my devotee. So if you see the last sloka 9.34, it is said, Manmanabhav Mad Bhakto, the only sloka which is repeated. So in the 9th chapter and the 18th chapter. So something which we have to tell, we think that people should remember, or our children should remember. We repeat it. We say 2 or 3 or 4 more times. So in this particular sloka, the 9.34 is repeated again in the 18th. So this part, the entire 9th chapter is very important. So it says, Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartumavyam. This knowledge is the king of education. Raja Vidya, most secret of all secrets. Raja Guhyam. It is the purest knowledge. And because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is a perfection of religion. The Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmyam. So this is a religion. So Prabhupada mentions that religion, any religion which connects us to God, we can accept it. And any religion which doesn't connect us, we can reject the religion. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, if you see the first and second sloka, the both dharma, it is said that religion, it is not just any religion means it's not any activities we do, it's the faith, and it's the anything which connects us to the Lord. This is the perfection of religion. That is here it is given. Lord himself says about himself and how to attain him. It is first Lord said that criteria, that who can understand this, which is in a submissive state of mind under a proper guidance of the spiritual master and in the association of devotees. So here in the the example of Narad Muni is mentioned, that he himself clearly says that how he attained that stage. So he says in his previous life he was engaged in sorry, his mother was a maid servant, and he after she passes away, he could get more association of the devotees and the sages, and in that way he could gather knowledge, he could know about the Lord. It's very important that the association of devotees is very important. So daily morning we are gathering and taking association of devotees. It's very important process that hear from others, and we share about Lord Krishna. So we speak about Lord Krishna and the devotees, not any gossip, but the pastimes. And we see in the Bhagavad Gita, we have practical message, and the theoretical message and the practical way how to apply it. We see in Srimad Bhagavatam about so many devotees. But we don't gossip about anybody, but we discuss how in practical life devotees took up to these principles, whatever Lord Krishna is saying: become my devotee, offer obeisances unto me, think of me always. So all these processes, how devotees have followed, we see in Srimad Bhagavatam. So we discuss, we gather and we discuss. Now an opportunity, Saturdays we have Srimad Bhagavatam. Again, we have different chance to gather and discuss about the Lord. And Lord says in 10th chapter, the essence of Bhagavad Gita, the 10 Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita, 10.8, 9, 10, 11. In that first he says, I am the source of everything. Next he says, the devotees who understand this will not just keep quiet. They will always want to engage in the service of the Lord. They always take pleasure in discussing about the Lord. They share about the knowledge. They share about the Lord with each other. They discuss about the Lord. They talk and they hear about the Lord. So that's Shravanam. See, the 9 types of devotions, the first process mentioned is Shravanam. So Shravanam is very important, the hearing. We hear more and more. Others, we keep chanting, we keep reading. So reading is also a part of hearing. But when we blindly keep reading, or we keep chanting, so over a period of time we may lose the taste why we are doing it. So when you keep hearing, the reading and the hearing process goes hand in hand. When we do that, we remind ourselves that why we are chanting, or we are reading the scriptures. And the scriptures, it's again and again stressed, but on our own endeavor we may fail to understand certain times. So when we hear from higher authorities under the guidance of spiritual master, we continue the reading hearing process. So then we get more and more taste in chanting, and we stress upon why we are chanting and what is the important. Sometimes we keep chanting. The main purpose is for getting service. We chant, hey Srimati Radharani Krishna, please engage me in your service. But when a service comes, we fail to do that and we keep chanting. So our thing is, first the priority, we finish the chanting on morning, and throughout the day we have a lot of services we can do. Sometimes the chanting gets delayed and we sit late night. Personally, I also sometimes get that, and if it doesn't happen in the morning, it lags throughout the day. So we finish our chanting and then we serve. So the purpose why we are chanting and why we are taking devotee association, so we read and hear more, we understand that there is somebody may be illiterate also, somebody doesn't know to read also, but there's there's a story of a devotee. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to South India, devotee he didn't know to read, so he had kept the Bhagavad Gita upward down, and he was crying. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, what are you doing? Why are you crying? So he just said the picture. He just saw the picture in the front that Lord Krishna is seated there as a charioteer to Arjuna. And he's seeing that and crying. He said, see, the Lord, the Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has accepted this such a low position as a charioteer. I'm just seeing this and crying. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted asked further. So he said, my guru said me to read the scriptures. but I'm illiterate. I don't know to read. So I was just seeing this and analyzing that. So that is, he's understood the position of the Lord, that Krishna is the supreme personality of God, and he has come down and accepted this. And further, if you see in this chapter, it's very beautiful sloka. Lord doesn't demand anything. Patram pushpam phalam taram. Anything out of love and devotion, if you offer me, I will accept, Lord says. And he says, I am not partial to anybody. Somebody Asura or Devata, he's never partial to anybody. But the secret is, we have to be sincere. We have to be we have to be trying to become devotees. Already devotees, well and good, but we have to be we have to try to become devotees. We have to be very sincere under a proper guidance of a spiritual master and the association of devotees. We have to hear this knowledge. It's the king of knowledge. We will not get this knowledge elsewhere in any school or any college. Will not get this knowledge. So this particular knowledge, if you see the 7th and 8th chapters, it speaks about the attaining Godhead, attaining the Supreme Lord's abode. And the earlier chapters we see about soul. Now the activities, the soul, what we are supposed to do, how to connect with the Lord. Those are mentioned in this. So it's the most highest. I understand, okay, we have salvation, mukti, we get liberated from the material world, we go to the spiritual world. But what we actually do as the eternal soul, what the soul will actually do, it is supposed to be engaging in the service of the Lord. Those activities are mentioned this chapter, the activities of the soul, the eternal soul, what it's supposed to do. It's always supposed to be engaged in the service of the Lord. So it's a very important chapter. We have just begun first and second verse now. So let's join daily and hear more and more. So let's chant one time. That's the engagement of the soul. That's the food for the soul. So let's all chant one time. Prabhu Smadhis, please unmute.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Prabhu Smadhiji. So Shri Hari Prabhu, anything to add?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.